Having recently reread Jurassic Park, I wanted to draw some conclusions that I saw towards the end of the book and what I'm seeing with the progression of AI and where I see the business of AI going over the course of the next few years. Now, I think with Jurassic Park, when I read it in middle school, there were a lot of nuances that I missed. Obviously, I was 11 years old. This was 25 years ago. And having reread it now, it's really interesting to see how Dr. Ian Malcolm, towards the end of the book, has a lot to say when it comes to science and when it comes to discovery and when it comes to the abuse of power that scientists often cite as discovery and innovation. Ian Malcolm's a little bit more cynical towards all of it and writes it all off as just a money grab, a power grab. And I think a lot of it is being seen today, especially with AI. This is a very minor spoiler. If you haven't read the book, it's around 40 years old. Please go do that. It's amazing. As he's succumbing to his wounds, he's giving Hammond this speech of why scientific advance is ultimately BS and how scientists are abusing this power and not actually respecting it, and often sell it off to the highest buyer who themselves are going to abuse it in different ways without respecting anything that came before it. One thing Malcolm says is, you know what's wrong with scientific power? It's a form of inherited wealth. Most kinds of power require a substantial sacrifice by whoever wants the power. There's an apprenticeship, a discipline lasting many years, whatever kind of power you want, whatever it is you seek. You have to put in the time, the practice, and the effort. You must give up a lot to get it. It has to be important to you. And once you have attained it, it is your power. It can't be given away. And he goes on to say that once scientists have reported their findings and sell it off, the buyer themselves are going to have even less discipline because they're purchasing that power. It's a commodity to them. Through this speech, Malcolm is drawing a lot of connections to those that are trying to attain a black belt or become a president of a company. They're attaining that wealth over time and learning to respect it and learning to harness it. So by the time they make it to their end goal, they respect it that much more and they understand its true nature. And you really don't have to search very far to see how little someone like Sam Altman or any CEO of an AI company respects the power that they're attaining or the power that they're building behind these AI systems. One could argue, and I think it would be a very safe argument, is that a lot of these companies are trying to obtain this power with haste. And in doing so with AI, they're not respecting nature. They're building these huge data centers. They are unaware of how much actual power AI is going to take. In a recent interview, Sam Altman said we could possibly build a Dyson sphere around the Earth. He's not aware of how much power is actually going to be needed. And I don't think he cares. I think he's going to do whatever it takes. I think these AI companies, because let's be fair here, there's a lot more other than Sam Altman. These AI companies are going to do what it takes to harness this power and harness the wealth that comes with it. And of course, they say that they're doing this all in the name of scientific advancement for the advancement of artificial intelligence. However, I think Ian Malcolm even makes a better case that scientific advancement is ultimately just BS. The truth is there haven't been any advances, not really. 30,000 years ago, when men were doing cave paintings at Lascaux, they worked 20 hours a week to provide themselves with food, shelter, and clothing. The rest of the time they could play, sleep, or do whatever they wanted. I felt a lot less doom and gloom lately and a little bit more dismayed, mostly in terms of the promises that a lot of AI companies are making in terms of efficiency and making careers better. I think that as I've used AI, I actually haven't really found that it's made my life any better or worse. In fact, it's actually costing me money in a lot of cases because I have to pay for a subscription so that I could upload more documents. And yes, is it useful at times? Absolutely. As a teacher, it's useful to be able to run through lesson plans or synthesize curriculum a lot faster than I would be able to do by myself. A lot of times it's easier for me just to do it myself just because I don't want to continually have to prompt GPT, Gemini, or Claude to do the job the way I need it done. And as I referenced in my video about Kurt Vonnegut's anecdote about buying one envelope, I think that when it comes to human efficiency, a lot of careers, a lot of jobs are actually going to ask what we're doing with that downtime and find ways for us to apply it towards other areas of our career. I don't actually think it's going to make more time for us. Now, I'll be honest with you, there is a little bit of confirmation bias when I read something like this. I do like to apply ideas from literature to what we're seeing with AI because it is such a new field that we're seeing grow at a substantial rate. Also, I'd like to hear what you think below. Consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.